A very good day to all of you, my dear students. So we are going to move on to the third part of the lesson 2, grade 10, health and physical education, learning about the development through childhood. So to start with, neonatal stage is from birth to 1 month. So, and if you look at the exact definition, it is the period from birth to 28 days. During this period, the child is exposed to the new environment for the first time. And not only that, the mother also starts to face a lot of physical and mental changes. And the baby is exposed to this new environment through the mother, because it's the mother who gets involved in extra activities. And the nutrients needed for the baby's physical growth are supplied through mother's breast milk. Therefore, like I said before, activities in which the mother gets involved in is going to affect the baby's psychosocial development. Therefore, a good mental and physical state in the mother is very important for good psychosocial development of the baby. So let's talk about all these physical and psychosocial needs during the neonatal stage. And there are 3 physical needs that we are going to focus on. Those are the nutritional needs, growth, and protection. And if we talk about the nutritional needs, breastfeeding the baby whenever the need arises is very important, because it's going to help the growth and immunity of the baby. We are going to talk about breast milk in the next slides. And then if you talk about growth, the baby should have enough sleep and rest, because it's going to improve the baby's growth. And it's really important for baby's growth. The babies need a lot of sleep. Actually, they sleep almost all the time during this stage. And then protection means the baby needs protection from cold and heat, and also protection from physical injuries such as falls and cuts, because the baby is quite small, soft, and very vulnerable during this stage. And the baby should also be protected from infections, so they should avoid crowded places and also maintain good hygiene and keep the baby in a well ventilated room to avoid getting any infections. And then when we talk about the psychosocial needs during the neonatal stage, we're going to talk about love and stimulation for mental development. Those are like the basic 2 needs under psychosocial needs. So love means what a mother can do is, while breastfeeding, hugging the baby, cuddling the baby, it's going to make the baby feel like it's being loved. And the other important thing is stimulation for mental development. Petting and talking and singing lullabies to the baby. You might think that the baby does not understand, but it's going to help the baby in the long run. The fact that the baby is going to build up a certain relationship with its mother, and for the fact that it's going to affect the baby's brain, because the baby is being exposed to the environment for the first time. It's trying to identify objects, identify senses, sense it, and make all those neural connections in the brain. And another fact is keeping the baby in a well lit room, so it gets used to the light, identify the new senses. And also the mother should respond to the gestures made by the baby. The mother should not ignore the gestures made by the baby. They should respond in some way or another, even though the baby does not understand, nor the mother. But it's important for the relationship that the baby and the mother is building. And the other thing is keeping objects that will make sounds to stimulate the baby. So all these are done for the stimulation of the mental development of the baby. The baby is getting used to light, getting used to sound, getting used to colors in the objects, and so on. So during this stage, breast milk is the most important form of nutrition that can be given to a baby. And it's important that the baby is given breast milk compulsorily during the first 6 months of its life. Now let's talk about the importance of giving breast milk. One of the things is that all the necessary nutrients and the required amount of water for the first 6 months can be obtained by the baby from mother's milk. So the baby does not have to be given water or anything separately, just breast milk is enough. And the other thing is the milk secreted in the first few days after birth has a thick yellowish consistency, and this thick yellowish thing is known as colostrum. The breast milk secreted during the first few days after giving birth to a baby is known as colostrum. It's thick and it's yellowish. Some years back, when people were not educated as they are now, they used to throw away this colostrum, but this is very important for the baby because it's going to protect the baby from infections and also help the baby in its digestive system, in digestion. And another thing is mother's milk is the safest and the cleanest food that can be given to a baby at this stage. Like I said before, the baby is really vulnerable at this stage, so the baby should be protected from infections. So it's very safe to give mother's milk than giving anything else into the baby's mouth. And also the mother's milk is always at the correct temperature. You don't have to test for the temperature. Mother's milk is always at the right temperature. And the other thing is that mother's milk, the breast milk, is available at any time the baby requires, because at this stage the baby should be fed whenever the baby cries. Whenever the baby cries, the mother should attend to the baby and give breast milk if the baby is asking for breast milk. Asking in the sense, it's a sort of nonverbal communication between the mother and the baby. So availability of breast milk all the time is also another advantage. And also this breastfeeding strengthens the bond, the relationship between the mother and the baby. It's not only a form of nutrition, but also a way of building a relationship between the mother and the baby. And like I said before, breast milk also has other types of things, or I would say constituents, that help protect baby from diseases. And also it's going to help prevent obesity in the future, and it helps the baby's mental development and also resistance against any allergies. So if we summarize this part of the lesson, we talked about what neonatal stage of childhood means, the physical and psychosocial needs during this stage of childhood, and we specifically talked about breast milk and the importance of giving breast milk to the baby during this stage. So there's more to come. Stay tuned with us. Goodbye.